thank you very much for your support. A great wave lap and a great field to wait at. And we are just about ready to turn the ignition key on what should be 50 laps of pyrotechnics tonight. Scott Bully at the rear of the field, guys like Greg DeBone, they have just as great a chance to come away with a little extra pocket money today as our guys in the front.
They certainly do, Matt. And of course, it's not where you start, it's where you end up. Yeah. Every one of these competitors know what they can expect out of their race cars during the normal distance. But very few understand what 50 laps are about. A guy like Tom Fern does, a guy like Michael Bennett does, a guy like Adam Gray does, and a guy like Augudt does. There's no question about that.
But you can learn in a hurry tonight. Lap number 31 through 50 will be determining our winner of our 50-lap Gamblers Challenge. And Michael Bennett, it'll be very interesting to watch him. That car has been getting stronger, and it's usually always strong in the first half of the race.
Now this time,
we'll see how he decides to play it.
Now this time, from the starter stand, they're going to cross the field over. Mike Helberg on the starter stand. He'll give him the cross flags. There it is, and the field will double up. Paired off in rows of two.
Ryan Fern with a pretty good starting position alongside Kevin Gambacorta in the second row. Ryan Fern is on the cusp of making a major breakthrough.
I agree.
He has been on the podium. He's had opportunities to win. Maybe in a 50-lap feature, he can get the upper hand so that definitely that yellow number 12 car is one to keep an eye on.
Keep your eyes on the Saunders twins. Remember when there was a bounty on Tommy Fern? It was one of the Saunders twins that was able to take that bounty off in 1 week. Our attention shifts to turn number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the field for the 50 for the late models is under green here at Stafford.
And it is a perfect start between Leary and Keene, and here comes Leary, and Leary is going to fireball his way into the early lead.
There's no question about it. Leary tries to pick up a slight advantage by running tight to the bottom. 3 wide. Tommy Fern just moved to the outside to move into the top 7. Off turn number 4, Leary will lead him back into turn number 1. Meanwhile, Darrell Keene is stuck on the outside lane. Here comes Ryan Fern. Quickest car in lap number 1 is Ryan Fern. Bonsai move to the bottom, going. Will it be gone? Matt there even and side by side off turn 4.
Ryan Fern might be even quicker on lap number 2, and he gets the lead away from Leary. So Leary led lap number 1. Fern leading lap number 2. Now trying to emerge from the shadows, Tommy Fern. He was close enough to the wall, he could have carved his initials in it.
Oh, sparks will fly down the back straightaway. One of the Ray cars literally scuffed the wall. Meanwhile, look at the battle for the 5th and the 6th position. Tom Fern is right there with the number 92. He goes to the outside of Al Saunders. Adam Gray is there, and now Gray pulls it to the bottom. Ray was the car that was sparking off the turn. He settled back in as they worked their magic. Second leader in 3 laps emerges. It is Ryan Fern.
Here comes Al Saunders, car number 40. He tries to torpedo his way underneath Tom Fern. Unexpected move by Al Saunders, and he just can't get it done as Fern pulls away, exiting turn 2, and Saunders is not giving up.
He certainly is not. Saunders continues to dig on the bottom. Here comes Adam Gray right there. It is still, Fern's car is not working as well as it did in the first 2 laps. Now Saunders' car develops what Matt calls a caffeine twitch.
Yes, that car is bobbing and weaving, and here is Adam Gray. Remember, he was very patient in the first half of last week's race, and then he dominated the second half. We have a battle for 3rd and 4th as Gambacorta is closing in on the 79 of Darrell Keene. That is something to watch, but it's Ryan Fern. He has led for the last 5 laps.
Well, there's no question. Once he got in command, who's the fastest car on the racetrack? It is Tom Fern with a 21.810. Fern now sets his sights on Gambacorta. These are 2 of the fierce veteran drivers in this division. Gambacorta has had a season that has been with tremendous highs, but also tremendous lows.
On that last lap, Cliff Saunders, he was squeezed to the wall, was able to keep it off the wall. Now Adam Gray, he will screwdriver his way underneath the 40 of Saunders, and Adam Gray He elbows his way past Saunders, and he moves into the number 6 spot.
While that was happening, Tom Fern moved into the 4th position, going around Gambacorta with the same type of a move. It's good racing wherever you look. As they come rumbling off the turn, it is still Ryan Fern, the leader of the pack. 8 laps are now into the record books. Little further back in the field, we see all of a sudden, here comes Adam Gray again, Matt, and his target becomes the Gambacorta machine, car number 23. Here's Gray.
Storms his way underneath Gambacorta, and Adam Gray is now in 5th place. So he has steadily made his way through the field.
There's no question about it. He is coming to the front as the cream is starting to rise to the top. All of a sudden, Leary picks up the pace just a bit. On the last circuit, he goes at 9.42, and the leader, Ryan Fern, went at 9.78. It simply means this, that Leary is getting quick again. He perhaps has gotten his second win. 10 of 50 laps are now complete in this special event for the late models here at Stafford.
Well, Ryan Fern's sister, Alexandra, was a winner tonight in the limited late model, and maybe the Fern family can make it 2 for 2. It is Gray a little deeper in the field in 5th place, trying to extend his lead against Kevin Gambacorta. Then Albert Saunders is there, and Michael Ray is one of those guys who has had great weeks, and he has had disastrous weeks, and it looks like tonight he is riding in 8th place, and it looks like he might have something for Ryan Fern.
You know, I think you're right. There is no question as you watch this. Here comes a caution. Car number 5 in turn number 4 goes around. R.J. Serdell is also involved. This number 5 car, Matt, was...
The 92 does come to a stop. Looks like they're going to be looking at the right rear and the left front on that machine. No jack out yet. They're checking the tires on it. Tom, you might have been having some issues with some tire rub there. The Ray number 44 machine also in the pits. That's Michael Ray in car number 44. Let's see if Jeff's got some more guys up top.
The 68, the 39, and the 87 are all on pit road. Ciriello had something scraping. They've made an adjustment on the 69 car. Some front end work being done on the 87. The front left is the primary focus. The 5 car has heavy damage. It has a flat front left tire 12 laps into this race. The 68 is getting adjustments. That's the track bar going up. I've heard that a lot of cars are loose, off, and that's also an issue for Dave LaRue driving the number 82 for his brother Paul. The 39 is off pit road after some adjustments. Something is hitting the ground on the back of that 39 car. That might be something that has to be addressed. Back up to the booth. Let's see if you guys have a replay of that incident.
You know, incidentally, Matt, the number 92 car, remember we were talking about it before the caution. All of a sudden, the car became suddenly evil. And it could be because of a right front tire. Because the 92 machine, they have changed the right front tire on that race car. Now, we talked to some of the competitors in the paddock area early today, and they said one of the factors was you want to run a little less tire pressure because you're going 50 laps and because of the buildup. Tommy Fern could come from the back of the pack, and he's still got more than a regular Friday night show to get the job done, Matt.
Well, he looked fast in the early portion of the race, taking it to the extreme edge on the outside. He looked good on lap number 4, but by the time we got to lap number 5, he started having headaches in that. And Ryan Fern has had a perfect trip so far. He'll be restarting against Tyler Leary as we go to pit row and Jeff McConey.
I've checked in with Tom Bernstein. The flat right front tire is what got them, so that's what they pitted for. They've made the change, and they are back out there. They say they are fast. They are going to be competitive. As they are too wide down the backstretch, I'm going to throw it back up to the booth.
You know, here they come.
I think Fern will be benefiting tonight.
I agree.
By that extra 20 laps that will go to his advantage. Right now, can Ryan Fern get an advantage as we come up to speed?
Leary on the outside. Fern has a problem getting the car into gear, it appears to, and we've got to scramble. 2 groups of cars, Matt, are 3 wide, and they're still 3 wide through the turn.
And they razzle-dazzle their way. Here is Byer. Trace Byer picks up 3 positions. What a move he made to come from obscurity into about 8th place. Up at the front is Leary. Here comes Ryan Fern trying to pay back Adam Gray as he tries to scalpel his way underneath the 97 car. So Fern, after that tough start, maybe missed a shift. He is back to normal. And the best battle is deeper in the field between Cliff Saunders and Michael Ray.
There's no question about it as he comes off the turn there, a little further back. Ray now is also in a battle. This is David Ray with Cliff Saunders there as well. Meanwhile, Gambacorta, Hearn, and just in front of them is Michael Bennett. They're starting to work their magic and come back to life as they're working the inside lane coming off turn number 4.
Fifth place is up for grabs as Al Saunders is getting an intrusion by the number 42 of Michael Ray. So Ray looking to jackknife his way under that car. Ryan Fern taking on Adam Gray. That is a battle for second. And now, right now, Gray is leading by about the length of a tongue depressor over Ryan Fern. And pulling away is Tyler Leary. Remember, we've seen him pull away before earlier this season, but then the bad luck came to bite him. We'll see what happens tonight. We have a long way to go. Tommy Fern making it 3 wide underneath Gambacorta and Bennett.
Yes, there's a good battle going on there. That's a battle for the 9th, 10th, and 11th position. Gambacorta now finds a home down underneath Michael Bennett. They bing and they bang down the front straightaway. Bennett is stuck in the outside lane, but Gambacorta guards the spot as Tom Fern is right behind him, and now it is Daryl Keene that's also moving into the thick of things here.
Bennett trying to get the advantage over Gambacorta, and now Gambacorta, he has an energy surge. So a little Red Bull in the gas tank for Kevin Gambacorta as he gets away from both Bennett and Fern, and Gambacorta is in 9th place.
Certainly is, and the way they currently run, 18 laps of 50, now complete. Tyler Leary is the leader. Adam Gray is second. Ryan Fern is third. Fourth is Al Saunders, and fifth is Trace Byers. Michael Ray sets in 6th. David Ray is 7th. Cliff Saunders is 8th. Kevin Gambacorta moves up to 9th, and Tom Fern is moving forward in position number 10.
And Leary in his own solar system at the front of the field. That's battle, 2nd and 3rd. Adam Gray is being nagged, is being pestered by Ryan Fern. But right now, the experience of Adam Gray is helping him out as he keeps Ryan Fern behind him.
Certainly does, and now Fern, it is Tommy Fern, just went around Gambacorta, and now Tom Fern has moved into the 9th position. We are 4 laps away from the halfway marker in this event, an event that pays the biggest amount of money this season for the late models. Ryan Fern is all over the back bumper of Adam Gray, but Adam Gray sparks fly down the back straightaway, Matt, as Adam Gray's car loosened up just a bit and he scuffed the wall. There might be a problem with Adam Gray's number 97.
And there is room on the inside for Ryan Fern, and we'll see if he can exploit it. But right now, it looks like Adam Gray is running the way he did a couple of laps earlier as he closed the door on Ryan Fern. And Fern a little wobbly down the back chute.
You know, kind of strange, almost the same type of an effect took place on the Ryan Fern car as it did on Adam Gray's car early in the event. Now, on lap number 23, leader is still Leary. Let's go back to timing and scoring. On the last circuit by, Leary clicked off a 22 flat, Adam Gray a 22.241, Ryan Fern a 22.262. They're coming up on heavy traffic now, Matt.
And Leary is leading by 1.7 seconds over Adam Gray. And Gray has, Gray goes around. Can he save it? Here comes Fern. As Gray went sideways, Ryan Fern tried to submarine underneath him.
Look a little further back at the halfway marker. Fern has just moved up another position, taking Gambacorta with him. Back to the front of the field, Leary's commanding lead continues to grow. Meanwhile, for 2nd and 3rd, it's a different story. Ryan Fern has moved back into 2nd. Adam Gray's car became a little bit loose and evil. He's sitting in the 3rd spot, and all of a sudden Al Saunders is making some noise. Look a little further back. 3 cars in a battle, and we've got a problem. Car number 79.
And Keene, he has slowed down, and the yellow comes out on his way to move on to the late models, and it is Tyler Leary, the big lead that he had, has now vanished as we go into double file alignment. It is Fern to the outside of Leary, and in the 2nd row will be that green number 40 of Albert Sanders, the American sleeve bearing car, and then the Riggs Disler car of Trey Spire. And I think that's one of the big feel-good stories of the night, Ben, how Trey Spire has ran well, and at times during that race, it looked like he was fired out of a skeet shooter. He has been very fast.
He certainly has, and of course, we've got Tom Fern, Gamba Corda, all coming to the front of the field, and we are at lap number 25 of 50 in this big payday for the late models. This time, it is Ryan Fern who is looking like a dominant car now because he just pulled away from everybody. We've got a problem. We've got cars around in turn 1. It is the Marquise number 5 and the 26 of Booley that came together.
And hitting the wall was the 29 of Bayer. He got a chunk of the concrete on the backstretch.
It is
so that car,
the number 14 machine of Cliff Saunders, Tommy Fern, Gamba Corda, Michael Bennett, and the number behind them, it looks like the number 44 of David Ray, and then it looks like David Augudt with car number 82 will be the next. Lights are off on the safety vehicle at the point. 25 laps are complete. We're going back to green for the final 25, Matt, as the lights are off on the safety vehicle at the point.
On a normal Friday night at Stafford, we would be going to the final 5. But we are just at the halfway point. A very critical restart between Leary and Fern. Fern was an emphatic winner the last time, and this time, Leary gets a jump like a Chris Sale fastball. It is Leary out in front of Fern. We have smoke in the middle of the corner, but everybody is able to make it through.
It is Tom Fern that makes some noise. Back up front, it is Ryan Fern that takes over the lead. Leary drops back to second. Here comes the Saunders team of car number 40, and then it is Tess Byers. Meanwhile, Fern has moved into the top 5. Michael Ray up to 6th, Bennett up to 7th, Cliff Saunders is 8th, and Gamba Corda is in 9.
Bennett has always loved these extra distance races as he has moved into 6th place as they swirl around.
Trouble on turn number 4. It is the Saunders machine. One Saunders, the 14 car, goes down through the infield.
And the 40 is also in tough shape as he is surrounded by the dust on the front straightaway, and he is hooked up and tangled with Trey Spire in the 29, the Riggs Disler car, as those two cars got hooked together, and they both are able to drive.
The first lap was led by Leary. The second lap was led by Ryan Fern, and then Leary took it back on lap number 13 to lead it through 25. And then on the initial restart on lap number 26, the story was Fern back in command.
But some of these cars, Ben, look like they're on Obamacare, as they have had a lot of damage, as they look almost like if you watch The Living Dead. But they are back out. Ryan Fern looking for a blockbuster restart against Tyler Leary. And Tom Fern, he is running in 3rd alongside Michael Ray, but here comes Leary. Leary getting the upper hand. Remember, he did on the last restart, and then Ryan Fern was able to track him down, and here is Fern again.
There's no question about it. Fern is turning in the run of his very young career. He's got a very bright future ahead of him. Same can be said on Leary. Now, Tom Fern and Ray come together off turn number 4. Bennett is there, so is it Saunders, and so is it Gamba Corda. Tom Fern's car is not as stable as it was at the start of this event, but Tom Fern is a real wheelman, Matt, and you can see him just we've got another car around.
Just when Tom Fern was able to crowbar his way.
I'm going to throw it back up to the boot to get you guys ready.
I don't think Albert Saunders, that number 40 car, I don't think it'll ever win a beauty contest because it has been pounded like a piñata at a children's birthday party. But he has taken his punishment. And another chapter in the odyssey of Ryan Fern against Tyler Leary. And Leary usually gets the jump, but Fern usually gets the lead. We'll see what happens on this exchange. And Tommy Fern, he is the straw that stirs the drink. I don't think there's any question about that.
I agree with you on that, Matt. And, of course, Ray is on the inside of him. And then, as they come off turn number 4, just like we've seen it in the previous runs, Ryan Fern has a slight advantage as Leary tries to go to the outside. Now watch Ryan Fern come off the turn here, and look at Ray. Oh, Ray gets turned.
And Ray hit into the wall, and two cars get tangled up. Fern?
Ceriello is involved, Ray is involved, and we literally have, it looks like 6 cars wedged together down the back straightaway. And right in the middle of all of that is Tom Fern, a victim of circumstances. Ray is able to pull away. It looks like the other Ray car will make the move as well. So the story now becomes, this is the 6th caution that took place in the event. Comes out on lap number 27. The cars unofficially that were involved in this caution included the number 42 of Michael Ray, the 97 of Adam Gray, the 92 of Tom Fern, the 14 machine of Cliff Saunders, the 69 car of Richard Ceriello, and the 79 car was involved as the final car, which was Darrell Keene. Now, that's going to change everything, Matt, but right now we've got heavy action on pit road. Guys, you're getting a workout tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Number 97 of Adam Gray, he is pit side. Lots of damage in that car. They're just trying to get a jack under it to see how much damage there actually is. The 92 machine also pit side. They are jacking the left side of that machine up. Looks like they're going to have a rear tire on that machine. The 42 of Michael Ray, he too pit side. They're just looking at the front right of that car. And the 14 machine, that is the number 14 car. He is Cliff Saunders behind the wheel, and he's got some heavy damage as well. They are trying to decide whether or not they're going to allow that car back out on the speedway. He is overheating right now. Let's go up on top pit side with Jeff.
I'm still over on the Hams welding truck. The 68 is having some major issues, and there's no crew there to fix the car. He's a one-man show. He's having help from the... There's a red flag out on track now as they are stopped over in turn 1. Not many cars survived it, but there's a lot of cleanup work. Richard Ceriello there in the 69 has had a lot of damage. The Sawzall is being taken to the 40 car, but caught the 69 and took him out of the race. There's not much damage to the car, but it cracked the radiator. That's what took him out, as they are now 2 wide and getting ready to go green. Let's throw it back to the booth.
Well, here we go. It looks like Ryan Fern on the inside. To the outside, it is Leary. Row number 2 is Michael Bennett and Gamba Corda as they come rumbling off turn number 4. It is Ray, and then it is David Augudt setting in that 6th position. Down into turn number 1, again, Ryan Fern looks racy, and all of a sudden Leary is now being challenged by Michael Bennett. Remember, Bennett started in the 19th position. Look a little further back, Matt, and already Tom Fern is starting to march back to the front.
As he got to jump on Gray, here is a side-by-side battle for 3rd and 4th. Advantage goes to Michael Ray against Leary, and trying to stuff his car underneath the 11. That is Kevin Gambacorta. Gambacorta moves up to 5th. Leary is in trouble. Now ready to dive bomb underneath him is David Ray.
There's no question about it. David Ray has a mission today, and he is right there with the big dogs throughout this event. Leary's
Ray is in 3rd, and it's Michael Ray in 5th.
It is, meanwhile, that Leary's automobile is now drifting further back. Tom Fern is starting to come to the front. Fern is already moved back into the top 7, Matt, as the leader is still car number 12, Ryan Fern over Michael Bennett. David Ray, Kevin Gambacorta, and Michael Ray are among the top 5 cars.
Leading by the length of a locomotive is Ryan Fern, so he has a hefty lead. Getting a visit from Ray is Gambacorta, so that is Michael Ray trying to machete his way underneath that neon number 23, and he does it. Michael Ray has moved into the top 3.
Meanwhile, Gambacorta has picked up yet another position with his machine. Gambacorta is up to the 5th spot. Tom Fern is in 6th. Tyler Leary back to 7th. Trace Byers up to 8th, and Adam Gray in 9th. 10th is David Augudt with car number 82. 31 of 50 now complete. Leader still remains Ryan Fern. He's been pretty much dominant at the point.
Yeah, Ryan Fern right now is turmoil-free, and Michael Bennett, the king of the 50 lappers, is moved into 2nd. Gambacorta, as he tried to get his position back against Michael Ray. That is a spot for 3rd. It didn't work. Now Tommy Fern, he puts some muscle hustle against Gambacorta, and Tommy Fern, he is definitely on his way back to the upper tier of the field.
He certainly is. Leary gets a 2nd win. He also threads the needle down underneath Gambacorta. Little change there. Now Leary's back up to 6th. Gambacorta in the 7th position. Meanwhile, David Ray just clicked off a quick time. 22.090. So a differential of 1.475. The gap is now a 3.94. He is getting very strong. We are now on lap number 34, and again, Fern is starting to pick up the pace, and he's coming like a storm to the front of this field.
Yeah, the Stinger, David Ray, continues to narrow the gap that separates him from the Magnum, Michael Bennett. So the Augudt hardware store might be getting a visit from David Ray before too long. Tommy Fern, how much does he have left? That car has been battered, bruised, jolted, stomped on, but he is still running fifth. His cousin has a pretty huge lead.
Certainly does, has a very big lead, to be honest with you. There is no question about it, but he continues to hit his marks each and every time by. 36 of 50 now complete. The rest of the field trying to settle in just a bit. And Matt, I think you're going to see them settle things into place just for a while, but then you're going to see everybody come to life with 10 to go.
Scott Booley just drifting on the inside groove, so he has had a few headaches tonight in his return to the late model division. Now here is Leary. You talk about a roller coaster night. Leary has certainly had that, and he is going after the back bumper of Fern, but the man in total control, leading by a considerable amount. By what would you say, Ben, about 12 car lengths?
Yes, at least 12.
At 1.58 seconds, Ryan Fern.
Certainly is, and he continues to hold that blistering pace. You know, a few weeks back, Joe Ham completely rebuilt that car for this young man, and it seems to be paying off here today. He is definitely among the class of the field. Bennett sets in second. Where did he start? Back in the 19th spot. He finally settled in after a wild night of competition earlier. David Ray, the Ray brothers both have been very, very strong tonight, and you have to give them credit where credit is due.
Ryan Fern looking for his first ever late model win, a rookie competitor, and he continues to widen his lead. It is now 1.6 seconds over Michael Bennett, so that is a pretty cozy lead. He could almost have a lazy boy recliner in that car. Tom Fern almost took off underneath Michael Ray, thought better of it, but the lightning bolt at the front of the field continues to be named Ryan Fern.
There's no question this youngster paid his dues. He's learned his lessons. This would be a huge victory for him if he's able to hold on. There is 9 circuits remaining in this event. The strongest battle on the racetrack is between Tom Fern as he continues to run to the back bumper of the Michael Ray machine, Matt, and then Gambacorta and Leary. Those 4 cars have not been able to shake each other off, and they have been like this for the majority of this event since that last melee down in turn 3.
Yeah, Fern is trying to get underneath Michael Ray. Here he does it again, and once again the veto power used by Michael Ray. So Fern fighting a losing battle in his bid to get underneath the 42. He's going to try again, and this time he has leverage.
He certainly does, Matt, and that's once he gets by. Look at Leary. Now Leary tries to stick the car down low. You got to give Leary credit. He has been up and down, but he has been a fierce competitor throughout this event. Gambacorta now tries to make the move underneath the Ray car. He'll try to follow Leary through, but that car is also starting to show a little bit of a handling problem as well.
Well, once a car wanders to the outside, there's a good chance not just one guy will pass you, but 2. And that time, it was Fern and Leary getting by. Now, Ryan Fern, he is 5 laps away from the biggest moment of his racing career. Not only to win for the first time in the late model, but to win the longest and most lucrative race of the season.
Yes, he continues to set a blistering pace. He is the quickest car on the racetrack currently, and we are just less than 4 laps remaining in this event. Meanwhile, the battle for second, David Ray is closing in on Michael Bennett. Tom Fern is also trying to close up the gap on David Ray. Fern has had a roller coaster night. Leary, the same can be said. Gambacorta, and of course, they continue to fight the cars as they've suddenly continued to become a little bit evil here, Matt, but they're able to still hold on.
This is the best that David Ray has looked since he made his return after taking about 5 years off. He continues to narrow the gap that separates him from Bennett. But look on his own island, Ryan Ferd, as the popsicle sticks will be out. 2 laps to go. Ryan Ferd, he can almost smell it. The biggest night of his racing career.
And the battle is closing in on the second place car of Michael Bennett. Ray has closed up the gap. It is 3 car lengths. Meanwhile, Fern is reeling in on the back bumper of Ray. This is not over with yet for the second spot on back. White flag is out. Matt, there's no question about it. Ryan Fern has been the driving force up front, but what will be the story for second, third, on back in this event? Down into turn number 3, ladies and gentlemen, the youngster learned his lessons well. Ryan Fern has done it. He will take down the big payday in the 50-lap event here at Stafford. Michael Bennett comes from the 19th position to finish in second. Great run for David Ray in the third spot.
First ever late model victory, and maybe we'll have to get the answer from Scott Running. Have a brother and sister ever won on the same night at Stafford before? But Alexandra won the limited late model, and in the big time, the biggest race of the year, it will be Ryan Fern, and as part of the victory lane ceremony, he will be getting a die, and he will roll it. If he rolls a 1, he will be able to get $1,900 all to himself. So, Sue Fern, Ryan's dad, he is very ecstatic there as he is going crazy. So everybody congratulating Ryan Fern.
Matt, there's the big dice.
Okay, we see the fuzzy dice that will be rolled. If he rolls a 1, he gets it all. A 2 and a 3, it'll be the top 5. A 4 and a 5, it'll be 6 through 10. And a 6, it'll be 11 through 19. Here is Ryan Fern. And now, ready to interview our winner. Let's go to Napa Victory Lane and Jeff McConey.
Ryan Fern, very excited with the money sign around his neck. His first career win. We talked a couple weeks ago, and you said it's time for the young guns to show him who's boss, and you've done it here with the Gamblers Challenge. How are you feeling after an absolutely dominant performance for your first win here?
You know, as much as I want to stay professional, I just want to say I hope Michael Bennett feels pretty good about seeing that view, because he's the reason why we made this car faster than it's ever been. And back to professional mode here, it's just it's insane. You know, I know that a lot of people here, they probably think, oh, this would be the race, if any, that I'm going to go out there, wreck myself on lap 3, collect a bunch of cars. But I've been learning a lot. It's taken a lot of maturity and reflection, but I think we're finally getting there. So pretty ironic that we got the first win tonight, but it's pretty great. I got the best crew to back me up for it. So
the winner of the GRE High Roller Challenge, congratulations. Who do you have to thank for getting you there?
I just got to thank the entire crew. I got to thank Safeco Foam. There's so many sponsors on this car. I hope it's okay if I just take a look at it here. Graham and Ham Chassis, they helped us when the thing got dumped coming out of 2, and we've been working with it, but it's the fastest car's ever been, like I said. Waddell Communications, excellent on the radio. My dad, even he can spot with Waddell Communications, so I think that makes some of the best radios around. I also got to thank Whip Sporting Goods, Dunleavy's, iRacing, one of the contingency sponsors, New England Gear Polishing, Wizard Auto Body. They did some fantastic paint job on this car, but you know, racing's racing, stuff happens to the paint. And 11 Call Before You Dig, Chalu Performance, they've been helping us out with body panels, whatever we need. Of course, obviously, we had to fix a couple of those there. Short Track Baker, and I also got to give a couple of shout-outs to people on the crew. Dave Zabori, his daughter Sam, she's going into surgery to fix her hip, so just hoping that she gets well soon. Dave Simbala, he's a guy that everybody sees here, is the loudest one here. I just want to give a special shout-out to him, because local short track racing needs more people like him, and just got to thank everybody here at Stafford for giving us this opportunity to have a great show.
Well, the next portion of the event here is you're going to roll this dice that John's holding, and we are going to see what number comes up. You have a chance to take home $1,900 as he climbs up on top of the car to do it, denting the roof. Here it is, throws the dice, it hits a reporter and lands on 1. Let's go back to the booth.
Wow, Matt, 1 is $1,900
He
plus
gets it all, plus $200
plus the
Bob's
prize money.
painting
Yep.
and Dell's vinyl signing. So a $2,100 night for Ryan Fern.
Ryan, you just won $2,100. What's the first thing that money's going to?
We're going to fix Tom Fern's race car.
Fix Uncle Tom Bird's race car. But let's throw it over to John, who has second and third place with him.
All right, congratulations to the number 12 team, but not a bad run, man, for the number 31. Michael Bennett, congratulations, second place. Man, you got to be happy with that, especially the way the night started.
Yeah, I put ourselves in a hole there in a heat race starting last. These guys gave us a great car show tonight. They've been working their tails off, and we found something, I think. Need a little bit more to catch Ryan there. We hung with him, we caught him a little bit, and then he got away from us, and these tires and brakes got a little too hot. But I can't thank everybody on the RRC team. Rob and Mark have been busting their tails so much, and they give me a race car that I just don't know what to say. I'm really happy with second place. But I got to thank our sponsors, Augudt Hardware, Sunoco Race Fuels, G&M General Contracting, Bingo. He's been a huge help. Ben Dodge, he's been an awesome help and very encouraging. Gave me a text message right before we went out, and I hope we made you proud, Ben. Stafford Mechanical Services, Hilltop Restaurant and Bar, Life Care Family Chiropractic, Alpine Tree Company, and of course, Augudt Hardware and Rainbow Restoration. TA Engines, I hope I got everybody. I appreciate everyone's help and my family, my little daughter, son, and my wife that will support me in doing this as well.
The Magnum is back, second place.
And my parents, I forgot them last time. I don't want to forget them again. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
No doubt about it. Give it up for Michael Bennett, second, number 31. Let's talk to our third place finisher, and it is veteran driver David Ray. Good to have him up here on the podium. Dave, I'll tell you what, man, good run there for the 44 team.
Yeah, car was great today. We got off to a rough start this morning. We actually had to get towed. One of the trucks got towed off the road, so we got here late. So that's how we started our day, and then, just biding my time. I was hoping Mike made a few more mistakes there in the corner so I could get him, but he was holding it just where he needed to, so I couldn't get by him.
David Ray, congratulations. How about some quick sponsors?
Yep, I want to thank Personal Auto Care in Middletown for towing us off the highway or the road this morning. We got JMD Chassis, Auto Machine, Dave, great powered JMD Chassis. They rebuilt that car last week. Last time I tore the whole front end off it. And then DMW Graphics for putting all the vinyl on it for us. All
right, there he is, man. Good driver right there. He drives the number 44 machine, David Ray.
Try to find me a girl or two. I hope you find me a redhead, 'cause I've never been a woman, but I bet it'd be a good time. That's right. Just won't have a good time.